My name is John Galvin. I'm one of the stem cell transplant doctors. My role is to see patients prior to transplant, help them through transplant, and afterwards as well to help manage any type of complication. GVHD is a complication that can happen after a transplant. It stands for Graft-Versus-Host Disease. The graft is a fancy word for donor cells, and the host is the patient cells. After the donor cells find their way and grow in the host or the patient, they can start attacking the host in places that it shouldn't be attacking.
I was aware of that GVHD may happen. I didn't know exactly what could happen to me. That's why I was watching closely to all the new symptoms that I was developing.
So graft-versus-host disease likes to attack certain parts of the body. The most common parts of the body that it involves would be the skin, and that can be anywhere from a small rash to covering most of the body with a rash. It can involve the gut, it can involve the mouth, it can involve the liver, and different forms of it can involve the eyes as well.
My graft-versus-host was mild. I had a red rash all over my body, but that was pretty much it.
I really didn't experience any real bad GVHD. Yes, I had the burning of the hands and feet. Yes, I had stomach issues for a little while, but those pass.
I had a bad GVHD in my lower part of my stomach, in the gut, which means I had to run to the bathroom multiple times a day. I also have GVHD in my mouth, which is a lot of mouth sores and tongue sores that are very painful. And lately I developed GVHD in my skin and in my eyes. So I had different types of GVHD, but they all can be taken care of with proper medicine. And if you just see the symptoms on time, you talk to your doctor and they give you a very good answer to what to do and how to take care of it.
The thing about graft-versus-host disease is it's something that is more treatable if we find it earlier. So if we suspect it, we can use medicines like steroids or to adjust the level of immunosuppression that the patient's on to suppress the graft-versus-host reaction and to get a handle on it before it becomes worse. So even though it might develop, and it's very common that we do see graft-versus-host disease, so we're never surprised, but we want to get it under control very quickly. And it is very treatable usually if we do find it early and treat it right away.
I think maybe I had the attitude that, this affects everybody else, not me. And looking back on it, you can't have that attitude. GVHD shows no boundaries, no mercy and everything, but it's something you learn to cope with it. You can't let it get to you. You just have to say, I'm going to overcome it.
One thing you may hear your stem cell transplant doctor say is that they don't mind to see a little bit of graft-versus-host disease. And the reason why is that we know after you get a transplant that one of our concerns is that the transplant is working, that it's keeping your disease away. And when we see a little bit of graft-versus-host disease, we know that your graft or your transplant is active and is working. And if we see it affecting the skin a little bit, we can control that. Or if we see a little bit of symptoms in the mouth, you may not even notice it, but we can treat it or keep an eye on it. And we have the security, or a little bit added security, knowing that your graft or your transplant is working to keep the disease in check.
But the good thing about it is that the graft-versus-host is the fight between your cells and your donors. And you want donor cells to win.